Back on the trail again, on the Stour and Orwell path. 2-day camp, around about 50 miles or so. Two night camp, 2.5 day walk back. Going too mad. We're basically in Ipswich, on the outskirts of Ipswich, near the marinas now. I took a train from Clacton to Ipswich. Now I'm going to start walking back. It's basically following the River Orwell all the way back down to Shotley, the Shotley Peninsula. We're going to be camping around about in somewhere near Shotley Peninsula, just past it tonight. It's supposed to be cloudy today but dry. We've had some heavy rain the last 2 days. It's also got a lot cooler, which is probably quite a good thing if you're walking. We've traversed the industrial part of Ipswich. Basically, you get off at the Ipswich train station, you have to sort of like go through the industrial area to get to here. It's very urban. Didn't bother to film that. I filmed a little bit outside the train station, so you'll see that in the previous clips of this. We're probably walking, following the path now. We eventually end up on the River Orwell. That goes all the way down to Shotley via Pin Mill, the historic Pin Mill. There's some decent filming around there. If I turn the camera around, you'll see there's a main road there. I don't think that's the Orwell Bridge yet. I think that's a little bit further down, is it? Oh no, it's the Orwell Bridge. No, so that's the A14. I'll come back there, you can see the bridge there. Maybe I'll get a better shot of it as it down. We'll carry on going. All the way to Pin Mill, the Button Oyster. Famous sailing area. Made famous by Arthur Ransom in his books. If you want to know more about that area, look at the books by Arthur Ransom, the children's series. One in particular called We Didn't Mean to Go to Sea. He basically starts at Pin Mill. He started the story off there. Basically, Arthur Ransom used to live in Pin Mill, that's where he used to keep his own yacht. The Nancy Blackett, who later became one of his characters in the book. This is quite a nice area. I suspect people who live here are quite affluent. Right on the outskirts edge of Ipswich. We started off about 2 miles in that direction. You have to go through the industrial estate. Unfortunately, you can't follow the all the way down because you've got industrial units and also dockyards and things like that. So it's sort of like this is actually an official path, the Stour and Orwell path, but it actually takes you through the streets to get around the industrial area and onto this path. And we'll eventually meet up with the Orwell again a few hundred metres down. We'll bring the bridge back into view, then we'll call this clip finished. We'll come back a little bit later. I didn't realise to be honest, I didn't realise the Orwell Bridge was that close to Ipswich. Live and learn. The other side of the bridge, making our way down. Gone inland again because of a large private estate. I'll get some low down pictures of those poppies. Beautiful little poppy section in the side of a field. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's a large estate just here, private estate, Friston Hall I think it's called. Have a wheat field here with you see these poppies on the side. It looks, the contrast of the poppies and the grass is unreal. Be a good place to come in the evenings or early morning for photography. clouds are starting to dissipate as anticipated. We've got to stay inland for a while now because this estate is rather large, probably about 2 miles long on the map by the looks of it, but not so bad. Come across these little copses with trails on more or less every walk I go to, and I do love them. Something special about working through the woods. The atmosphere completely changes. The sort of just a little bit of damp in the air, a little bit of humidity, cools everything down. If you're on a long walk and you're a bit hot, walking into one of these is a blessing. It really is. The trees grow around it, they meet in the middle, they create these arches. I do love them. I have to say, this is another good place for wild camping. Look at that, that's perfect. Look at that, you're tucked away down there, no one would know you were there. You're far enough, you're off the path so you can't see it. It's built up enough around here. We're on the edge of the estate again. There's another estate on that side called Wolverston Hall. We're coming up to the, not far from Wolverston Marina. So I was correct in saying that marina was Wolverston. They were opening up into the field again. It's lovely, isn't it? I do love these little edges of poppies. I suppose that happens naturally. If you have a look throughout the field, there's like, they're cropping up in the middle as well, where they're self-populating. Some lovely houses there. Imagine living there, you've got this view on your back windows. Oh, some other plants mixed in with these ones. Look at that, that's beautiful. I'm going to take a picture of that. So we've reached almost at the halfway point. Halfway for today, that is. That's Pin Mill in distance, just on the outskirts edge of Pin Mill. Very popular amongst tourism. It's famous pub there called Arthur Ransom's cottage used to be one of these up on the hill. He likes boats, it's a good place to be. There's always temperance barges sitting on the hards. You can't walk all the way out, I'll give it a go. Something I've never seen before. You have a look there, he's got a vent in the plastic window. I have to research into that because mine don't have nothing like that. $26, this is about the same size as my boat. They always look much bigger out of the water than what they do in the water. Their boats ready to put back in the water. I think it's a set. Lifted out there for the deer, I suppose that really state. Windows out. Top end lift has come disconnected. can see by this mud, at high tide, the water's actually right up here. Not sure what the tides are, if they're on spring tides. This is the halfway rest stop, so I might stop for a pint. I'm going to have a walk out for take first. Be careful of the footing on here, it can get a bit slippery. Been here a few times, been here with the missus. I'm pretty sure this barge is starting to look a bit manky. I assume it still floats and doesn't go under the water. Perhaps it does, I don't know. Nice one over there called Melissa. I don't think this is actually floating anymore, judging by the rust lines on the hull. I reckon that probably goes up. Water line comes up here where them ropes are. The high tides, the very high tides, that's why you'll see that the pub is sitting on its own foundations. You see the black bit at the bottom there, there's actually water up, slapping up around there at the high tides. It goes partly up the road at the high speeds. There's a few newer boats around this area, people living on their boats. So I think this is there's a few up there. Towards Shotley, because Shotley's further down. The size of these chains, they're huge. Go too far back to the bottom, you're going to get wet feet. Lightweight shoe. Like I said, the Orwell Bridge in the distance there. Zoom in, get a bit slightly better here. Well worth a visit if you're tourism, doing a bit of tourism around the area. I'll go through that there to get to the next stage. We're slightly over the halfway point to my intended overnight position, so I might take a rest stop here. It's only about 3:15, so we've got plenty of time. See you later. Right, coming out of Pin Mill, you have a fair old climb. Probably goes about 50, 75 feet up through the lovely woods. So it's a nice walk. It's a little bit more hilly around here than what you expect it to be. It doesn't really show it on maps. The inclines don't look much, but there's a bit of a climb. It's nice though, because you get a decent views. There's these little viewpoint seats here everywhere, look. As you see, we're quite a bit of a distance up here. Plenty of boat moorings. Coming away from Pin Mill, going towards... I don't think there are any more towns now until you get to Shotley. It's a bit of a trek, but it does follow the beach, not the beach, the actual river path all the way along. So come back when we get closer. Reached the turning point, the corner. The path to here is exceptionally overgrown. If you come back a little bit, you'll see it's opened up a little bit here. But the path down is you're basically pushing through high weeds and plants all the way through. I wouldn't recommend it unless you've got decent trousers on, decent shoes as well, because you're not very sure where you're walking. I think it's because this path is not used very much. There's not much between Pin Mill and Shotley. It's all just sort of like following the river along basically, and there's nothing in between. So I think that's probably why this path is a bit dead. It seems to have opened up a bit on this section here. It might be because people walking from Shotley probably get this far and just decide to go back and realise, because they realise it's so far. To the next place, it's quite distant, several miles. There's Felixstowe docks there. Shotley's opposite that, which is we've reached Shotley Marina. Oh, look at that. My word. That's a serious cruising boat. Christ almighty. Look how wide that thing is. Some really nice boats here. Look at the beam on that thing. Be like sailing a bungalow. Oh, just had a tea spot, tea stop, I should have said. A place called the Bristol Arms. It's quite decent. I had to bring the missus back here at one point. We used to sort of come down here quite regularly anyways, but we've never stopped in this pub, I don't think. It's very recommended. We're now going to follow this path past the houses, find somewhere to stay for the night. That's Harwich over there, that's Parkston Quay. Old Harwich over there. The wind has died right off. The clouds are clearing. It's supposed to be a lovely day tomorrow. Just had a look at the forecast and there's bright sun. and keep going. Found a perfect little spot. A little bit further up from Shotley than I anticipated, but not so bad. Saves a little bit of walk tomorrow. We're on like a little bit of a peninsula, like a bit that sticks out. I had trouble finding somewhere that's going to bleed the tide, because obviously water comes up quite a way around here, but up here it's perfect. Nice little spot here, sitting on the gravel. Right, now got a makeshift bed using the Aricxi Tarp. It's difficult to hold down on this ground because it's stony. I have to put the pegs pretty deep. The back's not very well good, but not much I can do about that because of limited angles got to work with. But that was good enough. It's not supposed to rain anyways, it's purely to keep the condensation off. Inside, got a new Bivvy bag to try. 500 weight down bag as a as a firmer rest mat and a Trekology pillow. Light's starting to fade, getting a bit of a sunset now because the clouds are clearing. It's cold though. Weather temperature's supposed to go down to about 10 degrees. I brought me lightweight down jacket. I'm glad I did because it is very fresh. I'm going to make a hot drink shortly to warm myself up. Starting to shiver because I've been laying down, chilling out. It's getting quite late now. It's almost, what time is it? It's 9:30. Summer solstice, I think yesterday was, so that's why it's quite light. Tide's coming in nicely. The old port's pretty lively. I can hear all sorts of activities going on over there. Good thing about these sort of camps, you've got something to look at while you're sort of chilling out. The sun is filling the sky with colour. I'm going to make myself a hot drink, then I'll be turning in. Early start for tomorrow. Arrive late, leave early, that's the motto. But this is a good spot. I think I'd probably come back here again. See you later. See you tomorrow morning.